Shalom. Once again, all praise is honor and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Ba'asham Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akian. And this is Slovakia. And this is your brother Bawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Ba'asham Kodash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in. And this is a video from the brother from the main camp, Yashaya. I forgot I forgot. Yeah, but the brother Yashaya from the main camp, right? Basically going into the recent eye shooting that just happened. I believe it's either Minnesota or Minneapolis, one of these American states. Okay. And what happened was that an ICE agent shot a woman dead, okay, while she was trying to get away in her car. So now this is creating, real panic among the people, right? But what I'm even focusing on isn't even the shooting in and of itself, because this is Babylon the Great we're talking about, right? There's a reason why the scriptures calls America Babylon the Great, the bloody city, right? Because when it comes to the evils and the wickedness of America, Babylon the Great, we as the Hebrew Israelites, we focus on our people, right? We focus on the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and the wickedness and the evils that America, Babylon the Great, has done against our people, because that is where our main focus should be, obviously, okay? But we also can clearly see that America, Babylon the Great, is not just evil towards only the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, but to all the different nations, including Esau, Edom as well, right? But of course, because we as the Hebrew Israelites, are the focus of prophecy, the focus of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's why the idea of this universal salvation and the idea that the Most High loves everybody is ridiculous. So, okay. And the idea that the Most High loves everybody is ridiculous when you can clearly go into the scriptures and see, right, as the scriptures say, that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is only dealing with our people, the Israelites. Nahum 3 verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not, right? Because somebody getting shot is just a regular occurrence in America, Babylon the Great. You have more mass shootings in a year than days in a year. So approximately every day there are multiple mass shootings going on daily in Babylon. So somebody getting shot is not a surprise. What is a surprise though is the government, right, defending this. So you have posts going off, US Homeland Security, US Department of War, right? Department of War, Donald Trump himself, and all the other government agents, Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, have all come out to defend the actions of the individual that shot this woman. So basically what you see happening right now is a multiple things, right? But it can all be summed up into one single phrase. The prophecies are jumping out the pages, right? The prophecies are jumping out the pages. So the first one I want to get is that, hey, the curses that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahshai put upon our people is falling upon Esau, Edom right now, right? Because when you hear, oh, I just shot somebody, right? You're thinking it's going to be Jake, the Northern Kingdom, but no, it was an Edomite woman. So what happened was the usual situation, right? Where you have these government agents, because ICE is a government agency, unlawfully, Slovakia, shooting, using excessive force and violence upon the citizenry, and you find out that citizenry was a white woman, and even more than that, these Edomites, these devils, are defending it. So you see Trump, you see Vance, like I said, they are all coming out to try to defend the situation. Oh, it was self-defense. Oh, the woman tried to run him over. He feared for his life. You understand? And you can't help but see the parallels between what usually happens with our people when it comes to dealing with the police, and now what's going on in this situation with this woman. So that's why I want to get this preset real quick, right? That the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, as it's written, that he would put cross, basically, man, like I said, the curses are also falling upon Esau Edom. And really, what this shows you, right, is the reason why Esau has become more desperate. I'm talking about the low level, but even the high level Edomites as well. But for now, I'm speaking mainly of the low level Edomites. The reason why you see that Esau Edom is becoming more desperate and becoming more, you know, what's what I'm looking for right now? Reckless and showing his horns and revealing his true colors more and more is because not only have the low level Edomites realized that the elites of Esau Edom have abandoned them and basically are beginning to treat them like as though they are every other nation, right? But they are also seeing that their kingdom is on the decline as well, and that their elites are basically, you know, setting up the structures to protect themselves from the fall of their kingdom, or at least in their own minds, right? And basically leaving the regular Joe Schmo Edomite out to dry. That's exactly what's happening right now, man. All right. Let's see. Curses. Fine. Enemy. Okay, this should be it. Hold on. Enemies. Okay. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 30, verse 7, and it reads, "And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuteth thee." Right. So the curses that are upon our people, Esau Edom is beginning to feel the fire as well. That's exactly what happened with this woman, and because she looked like an Edomite, right? You can never tell with these type of situations. She could have still been Jake, right? But what we are looking at more than the actual, physical or rather the spirit right now is the appearance. And what it looks like is eyes just shot a white woman for no reason, which is exactly what happened. And now you have the government coming out to justify that situation. And basically, what this shows you is that, what we have been, like I said, the prophecies are jumping out the pages. What we have been warning our people of, what we have been warning you Israelites of, right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and its Native American Indians are coming to pass. So let's get a quick precept, all right? Let's get a quick precept. So that's the book of Second Esdras. Let's go to that. Yeah, I can already know what I'm going to get. 15, verse 15. Woe to the world and the world that. Let's get that. Second Esdras 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and all that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another they shall not. Okay, I've already gotten the main point I wanted to bring out, right? And that's where we're at right now, because like I said, the scriptures are jumping out of the pages, right? You can already see, basically the structure of martial law being set up, right? The FEMA camps being set up. Basically, what we be warning our people of, right? The troops in the streets. And when last year this happened, right, when we said that, oh, this is how Esau is trying to push his martial law, right? That these ICE agents are going to be out here in the streets patrolling, acting as like I want to say Gestapo, right? It seemed far fetched, but now it's looking less likely, especially with the mood that Trump is currently in, right? He is in his natural state, which is basically to take peace from the earth and to practice all forms of wickedness, which is why he's trying to wage a war with any country he can and trying to start a war wherever he can, right? So, the title of this video is Breaking News. ICE just shot a woman dead. This is what this means biblically, right? And basically what it means is just like the ark said in this video, right? The prophecies are coming to pass, and I just then listed down a couple that have come to pass, which are the main ones, okay? But and also the fact that this happening as well leads to other prophecies that we also going to come into pass as well. But let's get this, right? Because that is not the only video, okay? There's still more. There is more. That's the crazy thing right there. There is more. 10 days into the new year, man. 10 days into the new year. And what this shows you is, once again, what the Hebrew Israelites are always saying. Okay, repent and return to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Fear the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. And you people should come out of this kingdom because, hey, this place is going down fast. So yeah, and this is the video I just this is the video I'm going into, right? I'm responding to basically, and this is the next video after that. Two dead and six wounded in fatal Utah food funeral shooting. All joy is darkened. Gone. Like I said, shootings in America, Babylon the Great are an everyday occurrence, right? They are as normal over there as, sunshine, rain, clouds, and the like. Trump advocates Iranian regime change and is ready to attack if protesters are harmed. And right, and this is the next move from Trump right here, where he basically declared that all the people that are basically in Iran that are protesting the current leader, which is, I believe it is one prime minister like that. Let me just quickly do a Google search on that. Let's go to that real quick. I've forgotten the prime minister. I think he's the prime minister of the Shah of Iran. I've forgotten his name. He's not Ayatollah, ironically, because I believe that the Ayatollah is actually okay. It is him. Okay, it is him. So Ali Hosseini Khamenei, right? Ayatollah Khamenei, which is basically that's he's an Iranian cleric and politician who has served as the second supreme leader of Iran since 1989 and the third president of Iran from 1981 to 1989. So that's basically who he is, right? The Ayatollah, which is the leader of Iran, and I believe that Iran still has a prime minister, right? Which is another person that is in power. So let me see if I can get that. Oh, okay, no, this isn't what I'm looking for. Who is the current prime minister of Iran? That's what I'm looking for. Or if Iran even has a prime minister. Let's use the AI. Let's use the AI. Let's see if Iran has a prime minister. Okay. The position of Prime Minister of Iran no longer exists. It was officially abolished on August 3rd, 1989, following a constitutional referendum. In the current political structure of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the responsibilities of the former Prime Minister were divided between the President, who serves as the head of government, and a newly created post of First Vice President. So let's look for President of Iran or Iran, President of Iran. Okay, this is him right here. As of January 2026, the President of Iran is Masoud Pezeshkian, a moderate and former heart surgeon. Pezeshkian was elected as the country's ninth president in July 2024, following the sudden death of his predecessor, Ibrahim Raisi, in a helicopter crash. And that sounds very suspicious, I'm sure you actually are getting that same idea as well. That's this that his predecessor dying in a helicopter crash sounds very suspicious, but that's basically what's going on right now. So most likely Trump is trying to get the Iranian leader Ayatollah Khamenei out of office to make regime change and US control and in Iran much easier. And this is giving a message to the rest of the nations, right? That's America, Babylon the Great, and really Esau, Edom as a whole. They are beginning to, try to bring more force upon the earth, right? And that's basically the main thing I want to go into in this video, and that is the fasces, okay? The fasces, because that's coming back in a big way, man. This is coming back in a big way because that's what Trump is showing himself as. If so, this is right here. A fasces, the plural of Latin fasces, meaning bundle, is an ancient Roman symbol of authority, consisting of a bundle of birkwoods bound together with leather straps, often with an axe head protruding, carried by lictors before magistrates to symbolize power, jurisdiction, and the right to command. Originating from the Etruscans, it represented the power to punish, the rods for scourging, the axe for beheading, and unity, later becoming a potent emblem of state power, famously co-opted by Benito Mussolini's fascist movement in the 20th century, which gave the symbol of notorious modern connotation, right? Because the idea of the fascia even goes back to power. It goes back to having supreme control, right? And really, when you're talking about fascism, been it's a word that has been basically changed over time, but all fascism really is just going back to Mussolini's government, which is his fascist government, right? So now his government is being used as an example of what a fascist regime looks like, right? His rule in Italy is being used as an example of what a fascist regime looks like. So let's get this word fascist definition. Fascism definition, right? Because that's what we're calling into right now, as the scriptures say, right? He had two horns like a lamb, but he speaks as a dragon, right? Trump invades and bombs Venezuela. The American people have suffered under the reign of Maduro's drug cartel for too long, and now we have invaded and struck a critical blow on our enemies that are poisoning our community. Thank you for your attention to this matter, right? While he has bombed and killed 40 people, right? The US forgot to mention that part when they were talking about their invasion in Venezuela and the kidnapping of Maduro. They forgot to mention that they bombed 40 people, right? And they haven't even, and they didn't, and this is the crazy thing right here. These devils didn't even bother trying to lie and say, oh, they actually bombed cartel members, they bombed drug cartels, and anything like that. No, they just let the information come out because they don't really care anymore, right? So this is the definition of fascism. Fascism is a far-right authoritarian political ideology characterized by extreme nationalism, a dictatorial leader, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and the economy, prioritizing the nation or race above the individual, and often employing militarism and racism. Right, so this is basically your idea of fascism, which is of course going into, like I said, right, or modeled after, and he said it also right here, rooted in early 20th century, fascism rejects democracy, liberalism, and communism, promoting a hierarchical society with a powerful centralized state, right? And it's going back to, of course, like I said, Mussolini's government in Italy, right? And that's exactly while Trump is operating within America, Babylon the Great, right? Because going back to the invasion of Venezuela, right? What the lawyers are saying is that, well, his invasion of Venezuela is obviously illegal. Yeah, of course it is, but at the end of the day, who is going to stop this devil, right? Who is going to stop Donald Trump from doing something like that? You know, when really all the regulatory bodies, the UN, the ICC, the International Court of Justice, and the like, they can't even stop him. They're not going to stop him, obviously, and he will continue in his push of this wickedness, in his push, for this wickedness, pushing the agenda of the elites of Esau Edom, because ultimately that is what Trump is doing, right? Pushing the agenda of the elites of Esau Edom. Now going back to this, right? And this topic really is in relation to you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians all over the world, because this is just not just a problem that is isolated to America. Let's remember, Donald Trump bombed Venezuela, okay? He bombed Nigeria, okay? And now he's trying to declare war against Iran and Denmark, right? Denmark over Greenland, and Iran because the basically the Persians, right? The Persians over there in Iran are trying to defend themselves from the small hats and defend themselves from America, Babylon the Great. So you can clearly see how what happens in Babylon, right, affects the whole world, and basically now the whole world is forced to attend to the whole world is forced to, I want to say attend to the matter of Trump, right? But that's not it. That's not quite it. What is dealing with, is that the better way to say it, right? Dealing with the issue of a Donald Trump, right? Because you see the way that he's not only conducting himself, but also, right, the things that he is doing, right, the agenda that he's pushing, the decrees that he's making, and what all this ultimately is going to lead to, which is of course, right, the NWO slash Great Reset, okay, and all the other implications in according to Bible prophecy, right. So I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Basham Yahweh Basham Rakakwadash. Wa Abad Babal and through the Spirit. I hope you are calm and you are quite edified. Shalom.